everybody, welcome to Wheelhouse Chainsaw Parts and Repair. We're looking at Micah's Super XL-130. This is an eBay saw, and unfortunately the way it happens sometimes is what you are told you're buying, you're not necessarily getting. So he's had to do a lot of work to this saw and kind of ran into some stumbling blocks, so he sent it my way, and there were still some definite stumbling blocks for this thing, I'm afraid. Namely, we had a crankshaft seal on the flywheel side. Most of that damage actually was already there. Not all of it, but most of it. This was crooked in the bore, so it was leaking there pretty good. There's a pretty good leak, air leak around the cylinder, and that was caused by old gasket material that hadn't been scraped off enough. You can see that. But one of the main problems this has got is there are some really deep gouges here in this cylinder wall. Way too deep for this to ever make good compression. Rolling over by hand, it was just a massive leak of compression out the exhaust. So I don't know how deep. If you were to put this to a ruler, it's not a 16th, but by golly, it's all the way through the chrome and well into the aluminum. So this cylinder was trash. Super XL-130 IPLs, same thing with the XL-76, show a unique part number that wasn't used in the States. I don't know why that is. I know that the Super XL or the XL-123 and a lot of those saws had a compression release on them. Well, you can see that doesn't happen on the Canadian saws. Don't ask me why, I have no idea. But thankfully, the XL-102 and the XL-122 used the same cylinder without a decompression valve. So even though the part number is different, the only thing I could notice is that this little boss right here for the muffler is a little bit bigger around on this cylinder than the one that I ended up putting on there, but it doesn't impact anything. I mean, it works just fine. Threads are the same, all the mounting points, cylinder skirt diameter, it's all good. So anyway, that is a new piston which was already there with a brand new cylinder that I happen to have in stock, which is kind of a miracle. Went all the way through the carb. This has a governor on it, a governor valve, and I'm not going to pretend to totally understand how it works. It's got an air passage or fuel passage, and there's a spring-loaded check ball that is freed up. So the saw is running pretty good, you could hear that, but every once in a while it's just got a little pop like the ignition is cutting out, and I'm not certain. This has the blue Super Easy style coil on it. It also looks to have a homemade wire, kill switch wire, and this kill switch is probably not the right one for this slot because the wire, the tang for the wire is all bent just to make it fit in there without grounding out. So Mike, I'm going to get a hold of you about that, see if you want me to mess with that or if you want to proceed with it. But at this point we've got a saw that's tight, airtight, and it's drawing fuel. It does run, it revs out good. I think we're pretty close.